Welcome to the COMC High School Football Coaches Show, presented, of course, by the great folks at Central Ozarks Medical Center, where your health is their mission. Also brought to you by MoDOT, Save Mo Lives, Slumberland Furniture, Slumberland at the Lake, Price and Randall Injury Attorneys, and Lake Expo Real Estate at lakeexpo.com. Coach Shannon Jolly. Season comes to an end in the state quarterfinals. A great season. Another district championship, number 6 for you, number 3 at Osage over the years. Looks like it was a good game. You guys jumped out to an early lead. It was kind of back and forth, and it was a tight one throughout.
St. Clair did exactly what they needed to do to win the game. Hats off to them. We've got enough information for 5 more shows to talk about the things that we didn't get accomplished or didn't do, but they did exactly what they needed to do, whether it be a tipped Hail Mary at halftime or an onside kick. Both of them were executed perfectly, and that's what I have to share about that.
Yeah.
So they did a good job, and unfortunately for us, that was the end of it.
Yeah, and when things like that happen, you can go, oh, well, they got all the breaks, and part of that is true, but sometimes you make your own breaks. You practice those things and try to make them happen.
Yeah, I mean, we had a kickoff return for a touchdown. The play Hunter grabbed was almost an intercept. There was breaks that went our way, and like I said, it was just about execution. They executed when they needed to, especially in some really opportune times. You take those 2 plays away, it's an even ball game. So those significant plays, and I mean this with all respect to them, like they did it.
Yeah.
It wasn't, we didn't give it to them like that, but we definitely feel like we left a potential win in St. Clair.
Absolutely. In the state quarterfinals, only 8 teams playing in your class at that time. So season comes to an end. We'll talk more about the great season that it has been for the Osage Indians and talk a little bit about the offseason and more when we come back on the COMC High School Football Coaches Show.
What's like and follow?
Phones are very distracting. Which is why Missouri now has a law against holding a phone while driving.
Dude, what are you doing? You can't hold your phone while driving.
Yeah, that's illegal.
Buckle up.
At COMC, your health is our mission. Central Ozarks Medical Center offers pediatrics at 2 lake locations and 3 OBGYNs at the Osage Beach Clinic, offering same-day appointments. At COMC, our doors are open to everyone, whether you live at the lake or just here visiting. COMC for the best medical, dental, and behavioral health care. Get more info on how COMC can help you at centralozarks.org. COMC, where your health is our mission.
Hey everybody, it's Daryl Cunningham with Slumberland Furniture at the Lake. We're starting our Black Friday sale. I know it's early, but the deals are so good we couldn't wait. You need to come check them all out. We've got deals for every room of the house, and we're doing 0% interest financing for up to 36 months. And if you're going to do a Tempur-Pedic or Stearns & Foster, we're going to extend that to 72 months. Don't forget, we deliver the entire lake area, so come check it all out at Slumberland Furniture. We're bringing happy home.
Welcome back to the COMC High School Football Coaches Show. Last football coaches show of the year. Season comes to an end. Great run for your team this year, Coach. You make it to the state quarterfinals, 9 wins in all. Again, I was listening on Lake TV social media. Your post-game interview down on the field told the team how proud of them you were. How special a group was this group of seniors for you?
It was super special. It's interesting because the thing you got to look at is I don't think a group that wins is more special than another group that loses.
Right.
Because I've been doing this for a long time, and I've had some special kids. And really, if you want to get down to it, they're all special. And what was unique about this group was, I think, their commitment to each other, and I think their beginning, or the start of them embracing, a team concept. Mm-hmm. Understand that uniformity isn't a bad thing. Being disciplined and coached hard wasn't all bad. I think this group got to see maybe what some kids may see later on in life. I think they got to see pretty quickly some of the benefits that came from maybe our approach, maybe how we do things. And I was really proud of that. And same thing with our coaches. It's a special group of coaches. These guys, the chemistry. And when we talk about culture, it's a big deal to me to talk about culture. To me, is the connection of people. It's not having music on at practice or having parties when things go well and having fun. It's about getting people to connect. And I'll tell you what, there was some connecting pieces on our team this year from our staff and from our players that were super organic or super natural. That was just fun for me to sit back and watch.
Yeah, that's kind of cool when you get that opportunity. But a lot of that doesn't happen without your organization, without your putting it together. During that post-game interview down on the field, you also gave the team some advice. And I heard you say, you can listen to this advice or not, but this is what it is. But then I didn't get to hear what the advice was. What was the advice you gave the team after the game?
It's just, you're dealing with 15, 16, 17-year-old kids. Sometimes I think people want to search for the reason. How come we lost? What was this? What was that? And or place blame, to be more honest. So my advice was to them, and it kind of came to me towards the end of the game, because you kind of hear a little bit of mumbling on the sidelines, and you think about, I talk about people when you've lost in your career, it's not something you want to get good at, but you do learn how to maneuver losses.
Yeah.
And so what I told them was, I said, just take a chance, just take your thoughts inside, don't say anything. Don't talk about anybody else inside the program, outside the program, St. Clair, other than just yourself. And I think what that did is it helped clear them up a little bit, because I think people want to find out, well, how come so-and-so didn't do this, or how come it wasn't like that? And it's toxic.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with adults in our own personal lives. So what we did, I just told them, I said, hey, just take it easy and don't talk. Because when you do, you want to naturally come out, well, if so-and-so would have done this, or so-and-so would have done this.
Yeah.
We all would do it. But and I think they listened to it, and I think they kind of appreciated it, to be like, man, let's just take this in a little bit and think about the things that we did well.
That's a good life lesson, and that's the whole reason for high school sports, is to try to teach these kids. Supposed to be. You're right. Okay, so we'll talk about the off-season, how much Misha lets you do, and I got to hear part of a wonderful conversation with one of your mentors just a minute ago. We'll talk a little bit about that when we come back on the COMC High School Football Coaches Show.
Lake life starts here. At Lake Expo Real Estate, we know that buying or selling a lakefront property is more than just a transaction. It's the beginning of a new chapter. A chapter that we strive to make easy, from listing to closing. In a competitive market, we showcase your property to the masses online with LakeExpo.com, returning unmatched visibility. And if you're ready to buy that lake house, our team lives and breathes the lake lifestyle, so we know what this chapter is all about. At Lake Expo Real Estate, we believe in community, cherishing those lasting memories, and helping make your lake dream a reality. Check us out online to find lake properties. No logins, no distractions, just pure, unfiltered lake views and options. Lake Expo Real Estate, where we are ready to be a part of your next chapter.
Competing on the field requires hard work.
It also requires effort and making good choices, which carries over off the field.
Like good choices behind the wheel of your car. Did you know that a driver is 20 times more likely to be in a serious accident if texting and driving?
Last year alone, 104 people were killed in Missouri from distracted driving.
So keep leading the statistics. Don't become one.
Buckle up, phones down. This Drive Safe, Boat Safe reminder brought to you by Price & Randall Injury Attorneys.
Welcome back to the final segment of the year of the COMC High School Football Coaches Show. By the way, we'll start up with a high school basketball coaches show next week here on Lake TV. Hard to believe basketball is already here, but that happens when you have a team that has a lot of success, goes deep into the playoffs, into the state quarterfinals. So now into the offseason, what does Misha allow you to do in the offseason? Can you work the team out and prepare for next season at all?
Yeah, I almost brought a picture with me and had you guys put it up. We may talk to Will during this interview.
Yeah.
But it's a picture of our kids on the football field with about 2 or 3 inches of snow on. It's about 0 degrees that day. There's like 35 of them, I think. And as long as you're not playing football, you can work out as much as you want.
Oh.
You can do it down on the field. So we've been real creative to try to get movements and hip mobility stuff and exercises to create mental toughness, but train you physically. And, since we are a little bit later into Thanksgiving, it might start directly after Christmas, but we might spend a little bit of time down here before Christmas. And that's a pretty cool time of the year when the kids come down. And so, if it was up to me, we'd probably have a session today. It's such a nice day today.
That's the first thing you said when I saw you.
That's
a good day for practice, right?
Yep. So
I got to hear a part of a conversation you were having with one of your mentors before we started doing the show here. And you guys were laughing and having fun and sharing some memories, about when you were a young coach starting out and just learning the ropes. I bet it's kind of fun after you have, anytime, but after you have a successful season like this to go back to some of your mentors and say, thank you, you helped me get to where I am now.
Well, I mentioned Coach Baker and Coach Mullins last time. I actually sent them the video. I don't do that very often, but I sent it to them. Both of them got back to me, but Coach Mullins was who I was talking to on the phone. And, it's just getting a chance. I wasn't a very good high school football player. I didn't play my senior season and just had distractions. And to be honest with you, was struggling. And to go down to Springfield and meet a couple guys and then be like, because I had a passion for coaching, I just didn't have anybody directing me towards how to do it.
Yep.
And these guys gave me a chance. And Coach Mullins' dad was a Hall of Fame coach. And it was cool because these two coaches were so different. But they were both transformative coaches. They weren't transactional, they were transformative. Coach Baker was this rigid Bobby Knight type style guy. And then Coach Mullins was this player's coach that just kind of kept everything in perspective. And so I got to learn from both of them. And really those two guys helped me look and say, okay, I like a lot of this, but also I can see the benefit of this. And I was just fortunate to be able to try to marry the two. And so that phone call was pretty cool. Good timing for me coming in for this interview.
Yeah, absolutely. But it also shows the importance of mentors, of coaches, of teachers in kids' lives that, if we don't get those people, our life is not going to be what it should be.
Tough to find the roadmap. It's pretty cool to be able to find people that have been there before you and then be able to lean on them. And that's really what those two guys did for me.
Yeah, and that's what you do every day when you coach. Do you always have that in the back of your mind, or?
Always.
Always.
I told our guys when we got back from St. Clair, I think my biggest responsibility is our coaching staff. And people are like, well, what about the kids? No, the kids have graduated. So 17 guys just left. Those guys are still down in the locker room, but we have 12 guys on staff. Those guys can all impact somebody. If I pour into them the things that have been shared to me, then we're talking about this huge platform of guys influencing people. So taking care of our football staff and their families has always been a priority of mine, and it'll continue to be that way. And I love the guys that we had this year.
Absolutely. Well, we love you. Thank you for your time.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Great season. So that is your High School Football Coaches Show, presented, of course, by the great folks at COMC, Central Ozarks Medical Center, where your health is their mission. Also brought to you by MoDOT, Save Mo Lives, Slumberland Furniture, Slumberland at the Lake, Price and Randall, Injury Attorneys, and Lake Expo Real Estate, lakeexpo.com.